$100,000 in grant money to use towards this project. So this conversation of, you know, who's gonna pay for what, that really only comes into play if and when this project goes out to public bid and the low bid is, say, $175,000, and you have, just to use a round number, $25,000 in engineering. I don't know what that number would be, but that's when this conversation comes into place. Who pays for what is if we go above and beyond that $133,000.
And I think the township's committed to doing the bridge, but I know I've done sewer projects before with multi-municipalities. Normally what you'll do is you look at the number, first sewage project I ever did was with Banks a long time ago. It involved 3 different municipalities. Construction of the pipe was based upon the total EDU divided by each municipality had a certain percentage based upon the total. So I think that's what you're saying possibly, correct?
I'm just saying, yeah, the conversation of the, like you're saying, Dennis, the payment breakdown, who's gonna pick up the overage is a conversation that needs to be had. If the public bids come back way above and beyond that number that we
Can I
have
ask you a
public
question,
money
TJ?
for. Sure, Chris, yeah.
If you accepted the grant money and did the engineering and went out for bid and it came back high and decided it wasn't in the taxpayer's best interest, could you stop the project and return the funds, or are you kind of in a gray area there?
They probably won't give the funds until they.
Well,
Yeah, they don't give the funds until we.
according to the agreement I saw the other day, Chris, what you do is you go through, you don't have to have any number of financing, you estimate what the payments are, what I read, and you go through and you can make requests prior to making payment.
Yeah.
But the question that he's talking about, or TJ's talking about, is going through with the grant and anything in excess, you know, if it's, say for instance, we get $133,000, the project comes in at $150,000 more. What I've seen done in other projects before is you basically, you know, and again, I'm just spitballing, you basically say, okay, you know, Union Township has 20%, Finleyville has 10%, you figure out what the cost is gonna be, and you try to allocate the cost based upon the EDU percentage. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get it, yeah.
The township's only gonna receive reimbursements.
Okay, I didn't
Right.
realize that.
You know the big problem I see with what you did here? First of all, you based that bid on a used bridge that's owned by Alex parents that we were gonna buy, okay? Not everyone has a used bridge sitting somewhere, okay? So that means nothing, what you did.
What do you mean?
You're gonna put that out for bid, you think, how many people you think have a used bridge sitting around somewhere? Think about it.
Look, the information, and again, Bankson was authorized to use the information that Tanya and Rick and their team
Provided
over there
to
had
you.
put together. Bankson
I'm more
wasn't
than happy to
authorized to do a preliminary design for a bridge. I'm not trying to you know, defend what we did here, but that's.
Tanya started the process, and then, the LSA said it would be better for the town, she voiced that it would be better for the township to do it, and you're more than happy to take my information and do it and sign off on it.
Yeah, I mean,
And that
Peters
was what
Creek
was presented.
gave us what they had because they don't have the right of way. They can't apply for a project on property they don't own.
Yeah,
How we
Tanya
ended
started
up
the
where we are.
process through a grant writing class she took, and then that Joan had told her that it would be better for us, and so she said, hey, will you
Yeah.
take my work, you know, and what we did here, and see if the township will do it.
Yeah, Peters
See the
Creek
sign off.
doesn't own the property. They don't own the right of way. So it was a collaborative effort to get to where we are.
Mhm.
So Don, what you're saying about, all the municipalities, it's just like Union Township has roads all over Union Township, right? So some people in that area, Union Township, don't benefit from that road, but they pay taxes on that road, correct? So they could say the same difference. Why am I paying taxes
We're
on that road when I'm
not
using it?
talking about people
They own it.
within the township.
Yeah.
I'm
They
talking
own the
about
road, the
Peters
township owns the
Township.
road.
You got,
No, you're talking about
I'm talking-
everybody going into that building meter, all the municipalities.
but I'm talking about
Right,
Peters
but I'm saying, you're
Township.
saying, why should we pay for, there's
Nobody
only so many
uses that
customers
bridge,
Union
though, like
Township
one
have.
property owner, we have to justify that if we take more money out of the township funds, you know, we may take heat on the fact that didn't, we will have a room full of people saying, you know, you took our tax dollars to benefit one property owner.
But would they say
It'd
that
been
same
cheaper to pay
thing?
for that
Right,
property.
excuse me, would they say that same thing if you paved a road over there that they don't benefit from?
If there was
Isn't
one
that
person
like
that lived on the
schools?
road,
Pardon?
isn't the analogy like schools? This gentleman pays 3 times in property tax what somebody from a lesser neighborhood does.
Right.
We all get the same damn education.
Right.
We do this, we get bus service.
Right.
You reach a point in society that that's just the way it is, and whether that benefits Unit Township specifically, I don't know, but if poop backed up in my basement, be a different story, okay, so. I think what we should do, spend a little of the grant money, do a little bit better engineering. There are other entities that sell those temporary bridges, okay? Maybe do a little legwork. The biggest decision, as TJ says, if we send it out for bid and it's 130 or 150 grand or 180 grand, who's coughing up the cash for the delta? That's the question. You guys want the bridge, we have some reluctancy to do the bridge because of a cost overrun and a benefit to the township residents. By looking at it a little differently, maybe my fellow board members, it's one of those societal things for the
Right.
benefit of all.
Right.
So that's enough said for me, so that's what we
Michelle.
need to do, in my
Michelle.
opinion.
Did you say there's access to that pump station?